Good afternoon. It's January 23rd, 2025. Today's prompt is a newspaper, and we are going to do newspaper. I know it's been a few days since I posted a video, and that's due in part to smashing a bunch of prompts together to do the map project that still hasn't found a home in our Junk Journal January book, but we're still sorting those problems out. We'll also be playing catch up and go ahead with a couple of prompts that we either missed or can combine and finish the majority of what we have left to do for Junk Journal January. If you've never been here before, welcome. This is primarily a DIY channel with a bunch of different things, and I confess I am a professional mess maker. Nothing I do is perfect. Nothing I do is plumb and square. A lot of times I take on projects to DIY with you that, could be a little explosive, like a certain soap. Actually 2 or 3 soap videos in the soap series playlist. So if I sometimes sound like I'm in teacher mode, I come by it honestly. My mother was a paraprofessional for the better part of her adult life. So for newspaper, I had a very straightforward, find some nostalgic remembrances of what newspapers were. They were social media for, as long as mankind could either put pen to paper or, fingers to typewriter, what have you. And so I just wanted a simple layout, and I made it a double layout since we have extra pages, conveying what newspapers were. And my central piece for this is going to be on the left-hand page where that big blank is. It is a breaking news printable. I believe the person who posted it found it on Instagram, but did not list the source, which is kind of irks me. I like to give credit where credit's due. So above where the central piece is going to go is an ad for Pear soap. And every time I see those ads, I love them. They're just kind of fancy and feminine, and, I like them. Nice graphics. And below that, I'm just spacing out, I wanted a banner from the classifieds page, because the classifieds page both influenced and reflected culture for as long as we've been printing. And you could find anything from antique furniture or a housekeeper to small business opportunities and other types of employment opportunities to your next family pet. They were fabulous resources. And the classified section kept people housed and employed for a very long time. I'm very fortunate to live in a place where they still print a weekly newspaper and they report stories the old-fashioned way. Who are we talking about? What are we talking about? When are we talking about? Why are we talking about it? And how does it affect or not affect our lives? That was journalism, and I would have loved to have done a more elaborate spread on newspapers and journalism, but 2 pages is, the limit that I'm going to go for the rest of Junk Journal January. No more elaborate map projects or anything like that. And the second thing is that I had a space limit. You'll notice under my right hand, some of those things that are not glued down don't cover the bottom of the page. And that is because the other prompt we're doing today is line. And I will confess to you, when I was looking at the prompt list, every inspiration I had came up at the last minute, even if I had an idea of what I wanted to do for any particular prompt, and oftentimes I didn't. There's only one, and it is line, that I hit upon very early and incorporated very early. If you have sharp eyes and you're maybe watching an earlier video, you might see the line. And it extends all the way from the front of the book to the back of the book. It's a ½ inch from the bottom. It's just a heavy black line. And if you follow that line all the way through the book, somewhere near that line is the date that we did the prompt. Now, on the ones that are doubled, or in the case of the map object that we still haven't found a home for, they're dated as to when I published the video, but you kind of have to look to find it. So we covered both line and newspaper in this video. Here are our final shots. I had to take 3 of them. These 2 are of the separate sides, sort of smashed together, and then I'll give you a long shot so you can see the overall spread. This was an easy breezy prompt, probably the easiest one that I have done, although you may think some of the other ones appear to be easier. I assure you this one was the easiest for me. But where does that leave us with 7 days left and all the bouncing and jumping around we've done? Well, we can check off the majority of the list, but this is kind of hard to figure out where we are. So let's flip it and do it the other way. What do we have left in 7 days? Like many others who have YouTube channels, we constructed our cover and got ourselves sort of situated in mid to late January. And then on January 1st, we finished our covers but did not attach them. So we still need to attach our covers. Envelopes also were done early, but we repeated envelopes. So where does that leave us? Neutral, I neither checked off nor circled because we used a lot of neutral in the body of the page block. So I don't know if we're going to repeat that or not, but repeat, we've already sort of started collecting a little list of things we did repeat, and line certainly is one of them, but there are others. We can also go either way on crumpled because we used crumpled in the map project insert. So really, we have a decision about repeat, sealed, reveal, and fabric. Now, the last one, 31, is letter. And Meg Journals, our hostess, often includes letter somewhere in the prompt list. I know that I've seen it at least twice, including this year. I can't remember about last year because I didn't actually finish all of last year. Nevertheless, I think our next prompt will probably incorporate crumpled, sealed, and maybe fabric. I'm kind of kicking it around because I want to end early. I want my last actual video to be number 29, reveal, because way back in the beginning, I told you I had a little something in my pocket that I wasn't going to talk about until the end. And so on the 29th is when I will reveal with 2 days left what I have concealed.